Why are you putting your hands on a female? Evans.
It's Volupteous. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm here with another video. So today's video is gonna be a story time about me being in a domestic violence relationship. This was my most recent relationship, and the boy I was with him for about 4 years. The relationship started back on May 4th of 2015 and ended July 2019. So the relationship started back in 2015. Fast forward to 2019, by then everything was just a complete mess. So within the first 2 years of the relationship, everything was just completely different than the last 2 years of the relationship. In 2017, that's when we had my son. His name is Jason. We were like a popular social media couple. Everybody looked at us on the outside looking in as if everything was like a fairy tale fantasy relationship. Back then, that's when things were way more smoother during the relationship. 2017 down from 2016 and 2015. 3 weeks after I had my son, that's when things went left with the relationship, and it was at that point where he just decided to just end the relationship and just leave. So I was really upset about that. We had just had a baby. We were together for 2 years. 3 weeks after having the baby, he wanted to end the relationship. We had just hit the 2-year mark too on May 4th of 2017. Summer was around the corner, and by June, that's when we broke up. So at that point, that was my longest relationship. I was really upset. We went from seeing each other like every day to barely talking and barely seeing each other basically. So it was just like out of the blue, out of nowhere when he decided to end the relationship. So that really caught me off guard. I was not expecting us to break up. I did not understand what the problem was. He wouldn't even explain why he wanted to leave for real. So I just came to the conclusion that he just wanted to be single now that we had a baby together. So the rest of the summer was really different. The past 2 summers before that, we were together like every day. But that summer 2017 was completely different. We had just had a baby, we didn't talk much. I wasn't taking it well at all. I wasn't eating. I would eat like once a day. It was close to the last day of school, and I started to just not go. I wouldn't stay the whole day in school. That's when I started smoking marijuana. I had an addiction to marijuana after that. I felt like I just had to smoke before I went to class. I wasn't sleeping well. It was just crazy. So that summer we didn't talk as much as we did before the breakup, but we started to talk more as the summer went on. Things were getting really confusing for me. We weren't dating, but we were still having sex, and he made it seem as if we were about to be in a relationship again for like almost the whole summer. Basically, so he could just keep me from moving on while he was doing him. The 4th of July came around. My cousin told me her boyfriend was having a small get together. So I decided to go. I got cute, I dressed up. There was liquor there and I didn't really drink, so it was really my first time about to drink liquor. And even though me and him were talking, the breakup was still on my mind like every day, like all day. So I was trying to have fun. There was some Henny and Pepsi there. Me and my cousin went to go get some ice cups from the store. We came back and started pouring up a few cups. So I'm drinking this Henny. This is my first time drinking ever. I was hurt, so I wasn't worried about the taste or anything like that. I really don't like drinking liquor. I can't stand the taste when I try it now. But that day, that's just not what I was thinking about. So first I had just a really small plastic cup of Henny. Then like back to back, I had 5 more larger white ice cups of Henny mixed with Pepsi. I kinda liked the feeling. I was just dancing a little after that, but it wasn't long until I blacked out. Right before blacking out, I remember one of my cousin's friends telling her that she should take me home. I honestly didn't even remember how that night went. My cousin explained it to me exactly. She was talking about I was trying to fight everybody. I was fighting her. I was fighting anybody who touched me. I was screaming and carrying on. She said I kept asking about this nigga. She said I kept bringing him up, telling him to come pick me up. I done passed out for a few minutes. She was calling him back to back. He was like his phone died. I wasn't in my neighborhood and I was intoxicated, so I couldn't just go home by myself. He wasn't trying to come though, he was capping. I seen him like the next day though. He was like he wanted to beat me up because of me drinking liquor after he hurt my feelings. So mind you, we're still broken up, but he's moving like we're kind of in a relationship, still posting me while talking to other girls that I ended up arguing with. He ended up cutting them off after I realized he was still playing her and was about to just cut him off and accept the breakup. His clothes were still at my house, so I was packing his shit up in a garbage bag. This was after I sent him the screenshots of me catching him talking to the girls that he said he didn't talk to. So he ended up coming to my house with his bro. Like, no, for real, let's fix this, blah, blah. So it was a 2-year relationship, and that's what I was aiming for anyways, for us to not be officially broken up. So I was like, alright. But now it was like the end of the summer, and we started dating again. It was August now, like 2 weeks before my birthday. And I thought shit was sweet. So we was dating again, but it wasn't the same at all before we had broken up. We still took pictures and stuff. We were still on social media. Until time came, started catching him cheating like OD. He wouldn't let me see his phone. I would go through his phone while he was sleeping. We just started arguing like every single day. And every time it was just always about another bitch. So it's like he kept posting me, but I'm like, that posting don't mean anything because he was still cheating. That pretty much was happening the whole winter. So time was flying all the way until the next summer of 2018. That summer he was on the same shit as the last one. So much happened so fast, it was just like a blur. That's when he just started lying even more. He was telling people that we weren't together when we actually were. We hadn't even stopped talking. I was seeing him take pictures with other girls in his phone, all that. So at this point, he didn't tell me that we were breaking up directly. This is how it would go. We would have an argument. We would probably have like a fake breakup for like a day or half a day. But then we would just start talking again ASAP. He kept posting me and we just kept moving like we were still in a relationship. But then when I would catch him talking to other girls, he would say that we were broken up. So that's the type of time that he was on. Fast forward to my birthday, August 2018. I was with him. We ran into this girl that I had gotten some many altercations with because of him, who at the time I didn't know they were having sex, but I knew he was cheating on me with her. They used to be like on some best friend type thing, like early in the beginning of the relationship. I had been fought her back in 2016 and her sister jumped me. Let's just call her Kiara. So on that day, on my birthday, after running into her, we went back to my house. He didn't stay too long. He started an argument with me just so he could leave because he was cheating, obviously. I went and looked on his Facebook. I seen Kiara in his archived messages. She was like to him, "This is the last time I'll ever be in this position." So I'm just looking at it like, what the fuck? It's my birthday. I'm crying on my birthday. Like, this boy is something else. So that was the whole argument. Of course, he lied again. He told me he cut Kiara off. She was playing the side role. I could never be this side bitch. There was this new girl. We're gonna call her Tyra. So one night I was outside with my friends. I was walking past his block and I just seen him outside. He told me he was about to go to the movies after I seen him outside. So I'm like, okay, cool, have fun. He said they were waiting for a cab. I didn't get invited, but I was already hanging out with my friends anyway. Next thing you know, I see him in the car with some girls. Him and Tyra were going on a date, and him and his bros were going out with girls too. So I'm cursing him out through text, on the phone. Me and my bitches planning to go over there and rag these hoes, but they ended up leaving early. This wasn't even the first time I'm catching him cheating. Well, these other girls, he would just get caught cheating and end up cutting them off. But this is where shit took a OD turn. Of course, so me catching him going on a movie date with Tyra was an argument. I assumed that he cut Tyra off after that. He didn't cut her off, but I didn't see anything about her, Tyra, in his phone anymore until a few months later. They never stopped talking though. So this is 2018 August. Fast forward to December 2018. I thought that he wasn't talking to Tyra or Kiara anymore. He was still talking to the both of them and a whole bunch of other girls on the low. But Kiara and Tyra were his two side girls. I mostly kept catching him with Kiara. Tyra was way more on the quieter end. Like, she just did not want to fight. So I didn't find out much about Tyra until after the breakup in 2019. But so it's December 2018. Me and this boy are in a relationship. I posted on Facebook a status about him. Kiara was pre-ing my page. She got mad. She decided to post a picture kissing him. The caption, "His bitch can't beat me." She posted it. I was at his house with him. He decided to tell me before I see for myself because it started getting a lot of attention. He thought it was funny. He was laughing. He was like, "I gotta tell you something, but you're gonna be furious." I haven't even seen the picture yet or anything like that, nor did I know about what was going on. But he was just been cheating, so I just knew it just had to be about that. Like I said, Kiara was one of the main girls I kept catching him with because she was one of his side bitches. So I'm like, what is it? Is it Kiara? He's like, yeah. I'm like, did she post a picture? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Kissing? He's like, yeah, what the fuck did you see? I'm like, no, because honestly, I did not. I go on Facebook, I'm livid. She deleted the picture after about 20 minutes. So of course after that, Kiara and I are just arguing again. Like 2 days later, we're fighting. My bitches came out with me. I fought her, then my bitches left and I ended up fighting her sister. Kiara jumps in while I'm fighting her sister. Really briefly though. I ended up getting arrested and so did he. When we get out like the next day, of course he just goes right back to talking to Kiara. Wait, rewind. Like 3 weeks before this fight, I had just broke my ankle because of fighting this boy. We were arguing about him cheating like always and we were about to fight. So I'm jumping down the stairs, flying down the stairs fast as hell. He's chasing after me. I jumped down like 3 whole flights of stairs. The last flight I missed the landing and I landed directly on my ankle. I'm a little distant from him. He was still chasing after me. I'm on the floor. I can't get up. I was still trying to get away, but I could not get up on my own. He all yelling still about the argument we just had. I told this boy that I cannot get up. So he took me upstairs to his house and then we waited for the ambulance to come. My ankle was swollen. The ambulance got here. He didn't even want to come with me to the hospital because he wanted to have sex with Kiara. But he ended up coming with me anyway after his friend told him that he should come. So I got released from the hospital that night. They gave me some crutches. It took about 3 weeks for my ankle to get better. I was limping without the crutches. My ankle still doesn't look the same as before. I swore I was gonna be over with him. Between September 2018 and December 2018, me and him just had so many fights. They all started from the same thing. Me catching him cheating. We would have an argument and it just wouldn't be long until it turned into a fight. He would just hit me for being mad that I caught him cheating on me. He real life hit me as if I was a boy in the street. There were so many times I blacked out during those fights. So many fights I can't even remember. Fast forward 2019, after the breakup, his friends who were there during some of those fights were the ones telling me what was happening. He even mentioned how we were arguing outside and how he hit me in my face and then stomped me in the street on the sidewalk. One of his other friends mentioned how we were all hanging out this one time at my house. Me and him were on the couch and I tried to give him a hug and he just pushed me super hard and told me to get off of him. One of his friends also told me how he was telling him that it's not a good idea to keep hitting me before I pull out a knife on him. I had just got a knife and a taser. It wasn't for what I thought it was gonna be for. But so he was at my house with his friend one day. We were arguing about him cheating on me. He started hitting me multiple times in my face. Next thing you know it, I blacked out completely. I ran and got the knife that I had just bought. His friend took it from me. Things just went so fast. There's probably so much more fights that we had. There's so many that I just cannot count. I blacked out a lot. People had to explain to me some of the things that they've seen. I had bruises on my face sometimes. I was wearing makeup to cover them. There were so many times that his brother would break up the fights that we've had. My nose would be swollen sometimes. It was just insane. Let's go back to Tyra. the real low-key side bitch. So like I said, 2019, after the breakup, his friends was just telling me extra things that was going on while we were in the relationship. Like I said, I didn't find out much about him and Tyra while we were dating, but they were talking the whole time since 2018, that summer when I caught them going on that movie date. So his friend is telling me how he had got Tyra pregnant twice while we were dating. He made her get an abortion so that I wouldn't find out. Backtrack. January 2019, I found out that I was with child as well. Tyra and I were both pregnant by him at the same time. At that time, I didn't even know that he was talking to Tyra still, but I was freaking out about being pregnant again. I was super worried about what was going on. I'm like, oh my god, another pregnancy, another baby? What am I gonna do? I was so stressed out. I couldn't decide if I was gonna keep it or not. I was worried about money. I was panicking. I was worried about how was I gonna care for it. Now I'm crying every day about this decision. I've been was crying every day about getting cheated on. That's another thing. My first pregnancy was nothing like this one. There weren't all these girls involved. I wasn't worried about a million things. Call it what you want, but I've got feelings. I'm like, how am I gonna provide for it? Who's gonna be helping out with this one? This boy is already cheating on me every day. I'm heartbroken. I'm gonna have to give my attention to this baby. Babies require a lot of attention, especially newborns. How am I gonna be a good mom if I'm falling apart on the inside already? Let alone another dramatic change with another newborn. Let's not forget the fighting with this boy did not stop after he found out I was pregnant. His mom and his siblings watched him fight me while I was with child in his room. Backtrack. I even popped up one day at his house after getting some Chinese food. I was like, I'm on his block, so why not? I told him I was on his block. He was like, okay. Something told me to just go pop up to his house. So I went upstairs to his house. I walked through the hallway to his room door, opened it. He's sitting at his computer desk. His friend is in a chair in the other corner, on the opposite side of the room. And Tyra is in his bed, underneath the covers, in her bra and panties. At this point, I'm with child. I haven't made up my decision yet. I was trying to figure out how I would keep it. So that's the first thing that came to mind. I just immediately turned around and started leaving. Him and his friend chased me to the door. He had some fake explanation about how Tyra was actually there for his friend and how he wasn't in the room the entire time. At that time, I wasn't even sure what to believe with that boy. I was just back to contemplating if I was going to continue with the pregnancy or not. We were still fighting, still arguing about him cheating. I was still unsure about taking care of it, how it was going to work. 5 months passed. I had set up 3 abortion appointments. I kept canceling because I was just so confused on what to do. He told me it was my choice. He didn't care how I felt. The last appointment I scheduled, they told me that I had to go through with it or that I just could not have it. So I just made up my mind and went through with the abortion. I was crying before, during, and after. I think it was a girl, but I never found out the gender. I didn't ask. At that point, I was really trying to end things with him. Once I started thinking straight, there was still so many more fights me and him had after then. It was only getting worse. I had to defend myself. This one fight, we were fighting for like 30 minutes outside my door in the hallway. Next thing you know it, we were on the floor. I bashed his head into the wall. The wall had a prickly textured paint job. One of them pricked him right into his forehead. There was blood streaming from the punctured hole in his forehead. He still wanted to fight. I just kept blacking out. I don't know how many fights we had. After the abortion and before it, while I was still contemplating, I just started questioning if it was really worth continuing with him. I been knew things weren't right. Focusing on a single conclusion just wasn't that simple for me. I started thinking about all the lying and cheating and fighting. He never even got me anything for my birthday. He never stopped fucking with all these other girls on the low, let alone Kiara and Tyra the entire time since 2018. So I decided to try leaving. Like seriously, officially. I tried to leave the now almost 4-year relationship. It was about 3 days of me just not talking to him at all. No texting, no calling, no seeing him. We ended up talking again. He claimed to be sorry. He was talking about how things were gonna be different if we continued again. Some of the same old speeches, but we've never stopped talking for that long. Even when he did claim that we were broken up to other people besides me, we just did not stop talking, period. But so we were in a relationship, but nothing was the same, except for how he noticed how distant I started to act. I really was over it. I just didn't want to be his girlfriend anymore. I was over the lying, the cheating, everything. That's when he wanted to start seeing me more often. He used to cheat on me while I was at work. That didn't stop. But then all of a sudden he wanted to start seeing me after work ASAP. He started posting more pictures of us on social media. He started posting me on Snapchat more. He just wanted to be around me all the time. All of a sudden, summer 2019 came. It was a fast 2 months after that last 3-day breakup. We actually weren't fighting as much. But then, June came around. There was this day he was with Kiara. One of his friends had told me how him and Kiara were arguing that day about Kiara catching him with Tyra. Kiara and Tyra were always arguing. At this time, I still barely knew anything about Tyra. But so that night, I had just left my friend's house. I was tired. I was about to go to bed. Me and him were arguing earlier that day already though, because I knew that he was with Kiara. She had posted a picture. He was with his friend in the same location. He decided that he wanted to come over to my house. So I was like, okay, fine. I opened the door. He automatically comes in with the attitude that he had already because of Kiara catching it with Tyra. That's what his friend had told me about why he was mad after we had the breakup. So back to this night. He's just yelling. He's like, who is here? Who is here? I'm like, no one, what the fuck? I was about to go to bed. I just left my friend's house. It's been less than 5 minutes he stepped foot in my house. We're in my room. He starts hitting me in my face. I blacked out. Period. I'm on the floor. He's kicking me in my face. He kicks me in my face about 15 times back to back. Repeatedly. Next thing you know, I felt my teeth crack. He was still kicking me in my face. I finally got up. The first thing I do is head straight for the mirror. I open my mouth. It looks horrific. There's a blood trail from my room to the mirror that I'm looking in. I'm like, how could you do this to me? I thought my entire front row of teeth were gone. My mouth is numb as fuck. He still followed me aggressively until he seen how my mouth looked. I told him I need to go to the hospital. So he calls the ambulance. To get a closer look, I took a picture with my phone with the flash. I just see my front tooth hanging, and another one of my front teeth is just completely gone. I couldn't find it. The ambulance got here. I went to the hospital. They pushed my tooth back in. They gave me some stitches on my lip. They told me I had a few broken bones in my nose. It didn't look like it though. I went back to work in about 2 weeks. Him and I were still talking. I didn't process everything completely. I didn't leave him yet. I was hiding my mouth from my family. I had only told my friends. Me and him still had another fight after that altercation. He threatened to do it again. He said that he'll knock my other tooth out. That's when I got fed up. I posted the picture on my Facebook. I captioned it, "These abusive niggas just don't stop." I posted out of anger. The next thing you know, I'm getting a ton of comments on the picture. I'm getting a ton of shares and people reposting it on their page. There's so much backlash and people coming for both me and him. They're like, how could she have let this happen? They have no idea how many times I fought him. They're like, her teeth been messed up before this. This has to be fake. Other people are just mad as fuck at him. They're cursing him out on all of his social media. Before I posted the flick, I had told my cousin and showed her the picture of what happened. She showed my dad. My dad filed the police report. He got arrested for a domestic violence case. His reaction to the picture is just instant lies. He's like, you don't know what she did. What? He was the cheater in the relationship. Some boys commenting are like, well, if she was cheating, then what do you expect? Those are usually the boys who would do the same. At this point, it's not a matter of who was cheating on who.
Why are you putting your hands on a female?
Facebook was just on tilt. The picture was going viral. People wanted to know what happened behind the scenes. There was just so much backlash going on. I didn't even read all of the comments. There were thousands of comments, thousands of shares. People with mixed opinions. This is the truth. He was mad that I was going to leave. He was mad I wasn't buying his tricks. About him changing. He even got my name tatted on him, under the matching tattoo that we got. Shortly before this altercation happened, just to convince me that he wasn't the same. He just tried to deal out all of the cards, but yet he tried to make me seem like the bad guy. He wanted to make it seem like he did that for me cheating on him, when it was really the other way around. He didn't have a reason besides the fact of me wanting to leave, and besides him wanting to take his anger out on me because of him getting caught up with Tyra by Kiara. After this picture, we really broke up for good. His friends was telling me about him having sex with my friends during the relationship. He jumped into a relationship with Kiara immediately after I left. After breaking up with him officially, some of his friends decided to step. They wanted to have sex with me. I'm like, I'm single. He's cute. He's cute. Why not? People were screenshotting my Facebook post, sending it to him. They would not stop comparing me and Kiara. Him and Kiara broke up, and then what do you know? He started dating Tyra. In that order. That's who he's with now. But people can say what they want about my reaction, about how I felt about that happening to my mom. Especially the boys saying I deserved it. because he cheated on me. But where's his teeth? In his mouth, right? Legend has it, he hasn't even stopped talking about me since that breakup in 2019. Always hearing something from someone telling me about the lies that he says about me. The lies about how the relationship went when he was cheating on me. He never even got me anything for my birthday. His friends even told me how they peeped how he wanted to fight every time that I was looking good. He couldn't handle confrontation. As soon as I would bring up him cheating, he just would hit me. And that's how the fights began. People can say what they want, but unless you've been in that kind of situation, you won't know how limited the options feel. There was even this time, this boy done put a gun to my chest. I told him to pull the trigger. I said, shoot me. People behind the picture have no idea what really was going on way earlier behind the scenes. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't speak on what you don't know about, period. But that's the end of this story time. And the bitches coming after me need to not forget that I can still fight. I'm single now though. I've been single since then. I talk to a few niggas here and there. I ain't really getting to nothing serious though. I be flirting with a lot of niggas though. That's about it. And that's all for today's video, guys. Like, comment, share. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys